What's going on, guys? This is Purgatory, and in this video I am going to show you how to get better at Call of Duty. With Black Ops 4 on the rise and World War II coming to an end, we must look ahead to the game's release, so now is the perfect time to make a video such as this one. With that being said, we will be looking at Black Ops 4 as an example on how to get better, but also throwing back to previous COD games. Obviously, in this video, I will be using different games to make an example of stuff in the video. But this is going to try to reference Black Ops 4 as much as possible because that will be 2019's game. That will basically be our main Call of Duty for a really long, for like another year, for a year. So I'm going to try to look onto that game as much as possible in this video. Anyways, this is going to be a pretty long video, guys. So I think I typed the script out for this and everything. So hopefully you do enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you do, subscribe if you are new, and if you took this advice, if you want to give any other advice to the community, leave a comment in the description, and leave a comment below. So anyways, let's get on to it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. So first, basically what this whole game is your created class. This basically defines how you play your game. Before you play, you select a class and you are in the action. You customize these classes by applying what suits your play style. Most of it has been limited nowadays to the Pick 10 system that was introduced back in Black Ops 2. But Black Ops 4 does have the Pick 10 system, and that will be returning, so a little more on that later. This leads me to my second subject, kind of, which is your weapon of choice. And this is the first thing that you should be paying attention to when playing any Call of Duty game, because basically the number one thing you see on your screen all the time is your weapon. Each weapon suits a certain playstyle. Black Ops 4 is a little different with the types of weapons, that being the tactical rifles. This consists of burst and single fire weapons such as like a DMR, like the Auger DMR, and the Swordfish and the ABR that we saw in the beta, in both betas actually. And that's at least from what we've seen in the beta. That's what I'm kind of sure of. Shotguns are a little different in this game. In Black Ops 4, they're actually a secondary, so that's a little different. Other than that, there are the original categories: SMGs, assault rifles, snipers, and LMGs. Secondaries usually being pistols, melee, and launchers. Again, in Black Ops 4, shotguns are a part of that list as well. From the way that I see it, there are two different types of damage for the weapons. I tried to describe this as easy as possible, but there's basically DPS, which is damage per second, at least from what I understand it, and hard-hitting weapons. Basically, the weapons that don't have a high DPS, that don't have a high DPS, but it does do a lot of damage within just a few shots. So yeah, if you have a better term, please let me know in the comments below. DPS is pretty self-explanatory, but just in case you're not too sure on what it is the amount of damage that your weapon puts out in a single second. Some weapons have a high DPS but have low damage output, and other weapons have low DPS but have high damage output, like I said. We will start with DPS. This basically is just your rate of fire. With faster DPS weapons, you need to be more accurate because you need to land almost all your shots in order to come out on top of every gunfight. And that's kind of just because, you know, if you're not accurate with your gunshots, you're probably gonna... Harder hitting weapons usually take less shots to hit someone. While you do still need to be accurate, it isn't as important as a higher DPS, because you can kill them pretty quickly if you have that high damage. So being accurate, that's it in my opinion, at least. Like if you have something like the Spitfire in Black Ops 4, then it's a little then like you can hip fire and you can ADS, but both of them have high recoil, so it goes all over the place. and it has a high DPS. Leading on to my next point, and this is also plays a huge role for every weapon. It's the reason why you kind of use the weapon, because you earn stuff for it, and that is the attachments. Every single weapon has a set of attachments that suits the best performance for that one weapon. Let's take the M1941 for example, and from Call of Duty World War II. The gun doesn't have a large mag size, so if you go ahead and throw an extended mag on there, so let's see, before it's 25, and now the capacity is 37. So now you have some more like extra rounds to throw down the range. The iron sights on the weapon are not too great as well, so maybe throw on the 4X or a reflex sight onto the gun. The draw time and the recoil on the gun are not so great either, so if you throw a grip, a quick draw and a grip on there, the draw time goes up and the recoil goes down, so now that gun will shine. This applies to Black Ops 4 as well, especially with their set attachment system, and also the operator mods, which is an extra attachment. Also, since it does introduce a predictive recoil system, so it definitely rewards accuracy and attention to your weapon as well. Moving on to the next point. Perks. These are your best friend, but are not a crutch to rely on. Perks are what really help suit your style. Again, we are focusing on Black Ops 4, which brings us back to the classic perk system, perk style, but World War II did this very differently by giving us divisions that provided a set of perks that suited that division, with an exception of a basic training perk. And in Black Ops 4, it is not like that. Each perk is organized in 3 different categories: main ability, weapon ability, and secondary ability. You can choose up to 2 of each category, but it costs you, so it's best to run 1 of each, whatever suits how you want to play though. For example, let's say that I want to be stealthy in Black Ops 3. So your perk order can be a variety of things, but I would rock Ghost, Hardwired, and Dead Silence. Ghost makes me invisible to the minimap while I am moving, jumping, etc. Basically doing everything. I'm hidden from the map. Hardwired makes me immune to counter UAV, EMPs, all that stuff. Anything that would interrupt with the fight, basically. So it won't trigger trip mines, it won't trigger shock charges, it won't do any of that. And Dead Silence makes it to where my footsteps are a lot quieter than others. Also, going back to attachments, I would rock a silencer on my gun if the game allows me to, otherwise known as a suppressor. Perks again are your best friend, but they don't do your performance for you. Now let's get into something that can really help you. Tactical and lethal throwables. These will help you in battle as much as possible, but you are only limited to 1 of each unless you use either a wild card or a basic training. We're in Black Ops 3 year, so it's a wild card. It allows you to have 2. With Black Ops 4's pick 10 system, I choose to rock 1 or the other. I never rock both, but you can, again, whatever suits your playstyle and fits into those 10 points. As you can see up here at the top right of the game screen, I filled up the 10 points, which means I have one lethal, so I have a C4 that I can throw and it arms. It's pretty cool. You can actually arm it. It'll trigger. I have a secondary. I have a primary with 3 attachments, so I got 3 perks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the wild card is 10. So again, it balances out your class. You know, so that's the whole pick 10 system. I do like it, but I like having the freedom to do whatever I want. So I only cover the basic ones because they vary in every game. But tacticals consist of, you know, smokes, stun and flash grenades, so like a concussion, flashbang, all of which are non-lethal but do help you get in or out of a tough situation. Lethals, on the other hand, will help you clear a room without making you have to do all the work. These consist of grenades, sticky grenades, and trip mines, claymores, whatever you want to call it. This is kind of still a trip mine as well. Choose what you want and be careful not to flash or kill yourself with these helpful tools. On to the next and final thing of your create a class, and this is very brief. That is score/kill streaks. I don't know, it's whatever game you're playing, either way. Score streaks is basically just, it counts on your score, whatever score you get during that life, and kills is however many kills you got during that life. So, however one that game has, you'll have to follow. If you are performing well, the game will award you with kill streaks or score streaks, but limits you from 3 to 4 streaks that you can use at your disposal if you've earned it. What I always do is rock a UAV, as you can see right here, so I can at least give my team some intel. Then I equip 2 lethal streaks, the Hellstorm and the Talon, as you see here, the highest, and the Mothership is being the highest, and that will reward me with more kills if they are placed right. Now that we are done with create a class, let's get into the gameplay itself. Accuracy. This is literally the #1 thing that you need to improve on, or at least focus on, aside from situational awareness. If you can't hit the enemy, you are going to kill them. Pretty simple. So what I would recommend is just playing the game, adjusting your sensitivity, and enabling aim assist. So over here, so you see aim assist, target assist, you see your sensitivity, your horizontal, I rock 6 or 7, depends on the game. Obviously, I am aiming towards the console crowd. PC players can improve by playing and adjusting sensitivity, that's really it. And also, situational awareness. This is just as important as accuracy. If you don't know what is going on, you may be meeting death without even knowing about it. Make sure you are using game audio to hear out for enemy activity such as footsteps and equipment. So whenever somebody throws something like this, you can hear it. You can hear that. And obviously if you double tap that, you can definitely hear it. So, and whenever somebody's running, depending if you have the awareness perk on, so definitely keep that one in mind as well. If you have the awareness perk on, you can hear footsteps, like, very well. So, definitely, yeah. So be sure to pay attention to that mini-map as well. In the top left hand of your screen, you can see it up at the top left. I'm looking at it. It's this thing right here. If an enemy is not rocking the right perks and is not being careful, you can see their activity on the minimap. Black Ops 4 has the Fog of War system. So now it shows whatever an enemy is doing in the radius around you on the map if they are not careful. If an enemy sprints or fires an unsuppressed weapon, they will pop up on the map. Also, be sure to pay attention to the minimap when you or a teammate pop a UAV. That will reveal all enemy locations that don't have the right perks equipped. Up next, map knowledge and positioning. Knowing everything about a map really pays off because you know where yourself and enemies can be, and you know places that you can hide to do things that require you to not look at what is in front of you. This works well with positioning as well. If you position yourself right, you can have a good spot to seek out enemies where they could be coming from. I don't condone camping, but in tough situations it's the right thing to do, so your positioning and map knowledge definitely help with that task of handling almost any situation. So for example, let's say, you know, obviously this is Nuketown, so I know Nuketown for sure. So a lot of people go up to this window. Obviously I'm using an SMG, so holding this is not the best idea, so maybe sitting back here and holding down this little car, and maybe sitting over here trying to hold down that over there. And also, if you want to get up close and personal, you can run out here. There's a slide in Black Ops 3, and you can come up here. Hopefully there's nobody behind you. So you gotta make sure to check each angle, especially if you're running and gunning. I would recommend playing at a high sensitivity if you're running and gunning. But basically, your map knowledge is like of where you know you can go. So like, say, you know, we gotta go heal or something, we gotta hide somewhere, you go try to run away from the battle, slide behind here, prone, call your little score streak, and then you come back out and you're ready to go back to the fight. So yeah, on to the next thing. when to sprint and when to not sprint. Sprinting is the best way to get into the combat as fast as possible, but it can sometimes be the reason that you die. When you finish sprinting, you have to go through one of two animations. One to bring your gun back to your hip, that or a longer aim down sights animation if you're sprinting. If you are sprinting and run into an enemy that is not sprinting and they are a good player, they have that high ground of being able to kill you because they're already set and ready. So they'll just be like, they'll walk around the corner and you're running, so they'll just be like, oh hey, but you're sitting here trying to run down the stairs, and so you already have to try to do that. So anyways, if you find yourself dying way too often, slow down your gameplay and learn the environment some more and pay attention to your enemies' actions. And finally, controller setup. Your controller, mouse, and keyboard, or your tool of being good at Call of Duty, is the tool that you use to even play the game. But the standard controller isn't the top quality item to be good at a first-person shooter with. What I would recommend investing in is a set of control freaks. I have them here on the controller. I don't know why my camera's so blurry. I apologize about that. I invested in them a year or two ago, and I can't even play without them. I'm not even sponsored by them, and I wish I was. They're pretty cheap. They costing as low as like $15. Yeah. Now, a more expensive investment as well would be to buy a SCUF controller. I never have personally owned a SCUF controller, but I plan to buy one, and I have heard way too many good things from people that own a SCUF controller. Last but not least, and this is specifically for Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare in Black Ops 4, Specialists. Basically think of Overwatch. These are your heroes, or your operators, however you want to call them, that contain special equipment, at least only in Black Ops 4, and have special abilities, or what a lot of people call ultimates. You have the option of either a weapon or trait specified to that character, one or the other. There are no traits to specialists in BO4, to my knowledge. As of right now, there are 10 specialists in Black Ops 4. Ruin, Seraph, Prophet, Torque, Recon, Battery, Ajax, Firebreak, Crash, and Nomad. Ruin has a grab slam hammer that insta-kills anyone in its radius, and his equipment is a grappling hook. Seraph has the Annihilator that holds 6 shots and one taps enemies if you are accurate, and her equipment is a spawn beacon that allows teammates to spawn on. I think it's limited to 5 spawns. I don't know, I'm not too sure. Prophet has the electric gun, I don't know what it's called, but it downs enemies that he tags with, stunning them for a good period of time, and his equipment is a shock drone. Basically, he throws it out, it looks for somebody, shocks them for a bit. Yeah, it's annoying. Torque has a microwave barrier, so that is what I like to call it, where he blocks off an area and is able to microwave people that are in front of the shield. His equipment is razor wire, so he's pretty useful. Recon basically has wall hacks and has a sensor dart that reveals enemies on the mini-map that are in the radius of the sensor dart. It's pretty OP as well because it gives you a lot of info. Battery has the War Machine, or the grenade launcher, and her equipment is a cluster grenade. Basically, it's a sticky grenade, but has more than so many other grenades. Ajax has a riot shield that he can shoot through. Basically, you can put a little automatic pistol through it and shoot through it. It's a little annoying. I think it needs to be nerfed. His equipment is a 9-bang flash grenade. So basically, 9 flashes. It's pretty annoying. Firebreak has the Purifier, or the flamethrower, however you want to call it. And his equipment is the reactor core, or health burner basically, that can damage in a certain radius. So if you're in a radius, it's kind of area denial. So if you're in the radius of his burn, it burns away your health, and for some reason you can't heal that up. I hope they really fix that. So yeah. Crash is a medic. He can heal all the teammates to 200 health. And his equipment is a resupply bag called the Assault Pack that gives you like ammo and stuff. So yeah, his ultimate is pretty useful, especially if his teammates are weak. Finally, Nomad has a pit bull, a little dog, that runs around the map killing anyone that can't kill him. Nomad's equipment is also a mesh mine, which is basically he shoots 2 mines and has a laser and blows up. Blah, it's that stuff. Yeah, play whoever suits your playstyle. I personally will play as Ruin or Torque a lot. Maybe a bit of Ajax. Guys, that is it for this video. I have no idea how long this video is going to be because there's a lot of cutting I have to do because I stutter a lot. Anyways, that's going to be about it for me today, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully you enjoyed staring at my face. Maybe there will be some gameplay in there that I'll put in just to have it in there. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, like the video if you did enjoy. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Comment any advice you'd like to give to anybody, especially me. I can still use some advice. So, thank you so much. Have a great day.